My deadbeat brother convinced our mom to give him dad's vintage guitar collection. If only he knew it's a $300 Chinese knockoff. Here's what you need to understand about Jerome. He's never played a single chord in his life, but the moment dad died, he became a lifelong music enthusiast who shared dad's passion. Dad left no will, just mom trying to figure out how to divide things fairly between us three kids. When Jerome heard the collection might be worth something, he suddenly had all these manufactured memories about dad teaching him guitar. Total fiction. Dad tried exactly once to teach Jerome, who quit after 15 minutes because his fingers hurt. Meanwhile, I spent every Saturday in the garage with dad, learning blues scales until my fingertips bled. My sister Tara took lessons for 6 years. We were the musicians. Jerome was the kid who sold his acoustic guitar for video game money. But Jerome's always been mom's soft spot. He moved back home at 32, supposedly temporarily. That was 4 years ago. He convinced her that since he was taking care of her, he deserved the valuable items from dad's estate. Tara and Linda already have houses, he said. This could help me finally get on my feet. Mom called me last month, voice shaking. Jerome thinks the guitars should go to him. He says it's only fair since you and Tara got your education paid for. Never mind that Jerome dropped out of 3 different colleges on dad's dime. Never mind that he totaled 2 cars dad bought him. Memory is selective when money's involved. The collection was incredible. A 1959 Gibson Les Paul, a 1962 Fender Stratocaster, a 1947 Martin D28, and 24 other pieces dad had carefully restored. Conservative estimate, $400,000. Dad's entire life savings, transformed into instruments. I knew fighting mom was pointless. Jerome had already poisoned that well, making me and Tara look greedy for wanting things instead of preserving dad's memory. So I offered to help catalog everything for insurance purposes before Jerome took them. I spent 3 weeks photographing every guitar, documenting serial numbers, creating a detailed inventory. Mom was touched by my thoroughness. Jerome was thrilled someone else was doing boring work. During those 3 weeks, I carefully moved the real collection to a climate-controlled storage unit I'd rented. Then I hit eBay, Alibaba, and every Chinese replica manufacturer I could find. The fakes were impressive to anyone who didn't know better. Same shapes, similar colors, aged hardware that looked authentic from a distance. I even found a guy who could fake serial numbers and age certificates. Total cost, about $8,000. I considered it an investment in family justice. The swap happened gradually. Each time I came to document guitars, I'd switch 1 or 2. Mom never went in the garage anymore. Too painful. Jerome only came by to ask when he could take them. By week 3, the entire collection in dad's garage was fake. All documented, I told mom, handing her the insurance paperwork with photos of the real guitars and their actual values. Jerome should keep these papers somewhere safe. Jerome showed up with a U-Haul the next day, not even waiting for me or Tara to say goodbye to dad's collection. He wore brand new vintage band t-shirts he'd clearly bought for the occasion. As he loaded each case, he kept commenting on their weight, their authentic feel. Can't believe these are finally mine, he said, hefting the fake 59 Les Paul. Dad would want someone who really appreciates music to have them. Tara had to leave the room to keep from laughing. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, Jerome's been the big man in every online guitar forum, posting photos, discussing tone wood, and vintage pickups, like he knows what those words mean. He even tried to join a local blues jam, though he mysteriously tweaked his wrist right before he had to play. Yesterday, he called me, furious. A guy at Guitar Center said my Les Paul might be a replica. He's obviously trying to lowball me so he can flip it. These jealous people, right? Definitely jealous, I agreed. Hey, didn't mom give you the insurance papers? You could prove their value. Oh yeah, those are somewhere. I don't need papers to know what I have. The real collection? Safe in storage, waiting. Mom's getting older, and when the time comes that she needs care, those guitars will mysteriously resurface in the attic. An oversight in the estate documentation. The sales will fund the best assisted living facility we can find. Jerome still posts his photos daily, arguing with actual musicians who gently suggest something seems off about his guitars. He calls them haters, gatekeepers, snobs, who can't handle that someone younger owns such treasures. Last week, he tried to get them appraised for a loan. The look on his face when 3 different appraisers confirmed they were replicas was priceless. He's convinced it's a conspiracy, that they're all trying to steal his inheritance. Dad would have loved this. He always said the best blues came from suffering you brought on yourself.